How's it going, everyone? It's Classy Tech, and this is a comparison of the LG G1 and the Sony A80J. The Sony is on top and the LG on the bottom. Both of them had around 100 hours on them, so they're broken in, and neither is calibrated. So on the top, with the Sony, we're using custom mode for SDR and the Dolby Vision Bright for Dolby Vision content, or custom HDR mode, and the Expert 1 color temp for everything. And on the bottom with the LG, it's the ISF Bright for SDR, the Cinema Home for Dolby Vision, or Cinema Home for HDR, with a color temp of warm 50. Here for this little motion test on the Sony, it's smoothness and clearness at 1, Cinemotion at low, and on the LG, it's de-judder at 2, de-blur at 5, and OLED Motion Pro on low. I figured that was a good balance between having a little bit of smoothing versus having it off entirely. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here all day looking at every setting for both. So here we are on the Spears and Munzel disc. This playthrough is on Dolby Vision for both of them. For most aspects of the picture quality, they are very, very similar as expected. They use the same OLED panel. The differences that I'm seeing is the A80J can push smaller highlights brighter, as like right here with the sun, it just looks a little brighter on the A80J. Also, I see a little bit of color inaccuracies with the LG when it comes to like orange. The oranges just seem overblown, and yellows, like if I see someone with blonde hair in a show, the blonde hair looks kind of greenish, and then orange just looks overdone. Both of them, the color gamuts are set to auto. On the Sony, it also has a little bit better gradient handling, so in bright skies, you can see a little bit more color in the skies, and it's less just pure blue, and there's more teals and cyans. Little tiny fine details, like on the comb for that honey, I just was seeing a little bit more lines in the wood. I think the biggest difference between them out of the box is the shadow detail on the LG is extremely dark, and a lot of things you just can't make out at all, whereas the Sony shows all of it pretty well. So moving on from that, there's no gaming in this video. However, I think at this point most people know LG has the 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, supports VRR with FreeSync Premium, FreeSync Premium Pro, NVIDIA G-Sync, auto low latency mode, has a Dolby Vision game mode. So for the most part, most gamers will be happier with the LG. But if you are playing on a PS5 or a Switch, you know, the PS5 doesn't have those features. And then the Switch, being a lower resolution system, and again doesn't have those features, then those experiences would be better on the Sony. In SDR games like you would see on the Switch, or Fortnite is SDR, things like that, if you have the Sony and you put the peak luminance to high, it has a image retention prevention system that will dim your overall brightness to about half, depending on the game and a lot of factors. But in HDR, that shouldn't really be noticeable. In TV and movie content, that shouldn't be noticeable. It might be in sports, again, if the peak luminance isn't high. So I'd suggest leaving it at medium, and doing so means the SDR gaming brightness is roughly the same between these two. And in overall brightness, they're about the same. The only thing the Sony does is push very, very small highlights just a little bit more than the G1. So overall, the brightness is pretty much a tie. However, on the LG, you can disable the logo luminance setting so that there's no dimming like there is on the Sony. So it's a more consistent experience. When it comes to like eARC, yeah, Sony has some issues with eARC. Mostly it's at 4K 120 Hz with the Xbox not being able to do Dolby or DTS. The only issue really that I've seen with the LG is that they dropped DTS support for eARC, so you cannot use eARC and pass DTS or DTS:X audio. You're going to have to plug that right into your receiver or soundbar to get that to work. I will be calibrating the G1 here shortly, and then I will do another comparison against the A80J, as well as I have a QN90A from Samsung to do. So more G1 content to come. I just was trying to get this done real quick after breaking it in and giving it a fair comparison against the A80J. I think the A80J definitely has some advantages when it comes to movie and TV watching and just overall picture quality, mostly because of the color accuracy and the shadow detail. Other than that, they're very, very similar. Not any real difference in the brightness or contrast. Clarity, again, the Sony has a slight edge if you use reality creation, but they're very, very similar. Except the Sony does get another advantage with upscaling lower resolution content. However, the G1 may end up being more accurate, at least after calibration, so we'll see what happens there. And if there's anything else specifically that you would like to see with the G1, just let me know. And if you like this comparison, just a reminder to press the like button and check the description for some affiliate links. And there's plenty more to come, so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for watching.